Welcome to Illinois Law. My name is Marty Dolan and I'll be your host for today's show. Our topic is how businesses should respond to the Concealed Carry Act. With me today is Alan Kaplan, Chair of the Employment and Labor Benefits Practice Group at Masuda, Funai, Eifert Mitchell in Chicago. Alan represents management, counseling them to comply with government regulations, defending them against claims, and drafting employment and union contracts. Alan, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First, let me ask you a question. Can a business owner now prohibit customers and visitors from carrying concealed firearms to their business premises?
Yes, they can. The statute covers two types of businesses. Those are businesses that are specifically mentioned in the statute as prohibited places where licensees cannot carry their weapons into those businesses. There are 23 of them, such as museums or government offices. Privately owned business owners can also make prohibitions against licensees carrying weapons into their properties. And on the screen right now, you will see the sign that should be posted at the entrance of the building or the premises or the property.
And is the sign something that a business owner can get if they're watching this show? They can get it somewhere?
Absolutely. You can go to the website of the Illinois State Police, and along the side of the website, there's a link to the Concealed Carry Act. And once you're on that link, you can then see the sign and then download that.
Now, I mean, with the sign itself, because the act is so new, it's going to take people time to get used to what it is, right? Is there any wording or anything else that is expected of an employer once they post a sign? Is there anything else they have to do?
There's nothing in the statute that states what they have to do. Again, the statute is a criminal statute directed towards the person who has the license to carry the gun. However, lawyers who represent businesses are recommending that companies have policies and also enforce those policies if they believe that the licensees should not carry guns within their facility.
And are there certain types of businesses that are required to prohibit concealed firearms, in total, where they can't? And what are they?
The statute does not require companies to take any action. The statute is for the licensees. As I said, there's 23 companies where licensees are not allowed to carry guns in. Companies can prohibit licensees from carrying guns into their property.
Does the act impose any type of civil or criminal penalty for someone who violates the owner's wishes by not having the gun?
Yes. Under the act, the licensee can lose his license or can have the license suspended. In addition, there is a misdemeanor violation for the licensee if they violate the provisions of the act.
And there's obviously concerns of the employer for the safety of the environment, and you have to weigh those against the now individual rights of the specific allowance of a gun by this new act. Are there any pitfalls that you can think of for employers or things that you really advise just on a practical level now having to deal with this?
Yes. This is a growing area of law, very controversial. From the employer standpoint, there's a whole issue of negligent supervision. I assume from the business standpoint as well, lawyers can try to make arguments that there's negligence actions that may be available for persons who are injured when a licensee comes into a facility, violates a policy or the act, and engages in some type of violence. So the question then becomes, what is the duty of the business owner, and how do they breach that duty? That's going to be a growing area of law, and companies should be talking to their lawyers about this, perhaps should be looking at their insurance policies for this area.
So yeah, and those are two things that I was thinking of myself. Is one, if the employer has a policy, that's one way to at least begin the process of, protecting themselves against liability. Correct?
Yes.
And the policy should be, known throughout the company, and employees should be well aware of it. And then the second thing is, what do they do on the insurance level? And are employers facing some kind of pushback at all from insurance companies, or is this still an emerging area where now insurance companies are going to have to insure this aspect of the guns being on their property?
Oh, this is an emerging area, and I have not heard of pushback yet in the state of Illinois.
So an employer should feel comfortable going to their lawyers or insurance companies saying, look, we're a private company, we may have a concealed carry policy, we're expecting to be insured on this level?
Yes, I also would recommend that companies contact safety experts. There are many consultants who can provide advice about safety for companies, and they are also looking at this statute. Again, Illinois is the 50th state in the United States to have this law. So there is a whole body of law throughout the United States. Safety consultants know how to deal and give advice on this area.
Alan, thank you for this important information for employers. Again, this is Illinois Law, and thank you for joining us today.